Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the St. Peter School Board. It is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. We are in the governor's room of the community center. We will call the meeting to order. First item up is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We need to consider and adopt the agenda, which can be found in the board book online or the packet in front of you.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda is adopted. Kimberly, any requests to speak this evening? Small crowd tonight. Next up, approval of consent agenda items, beginning on page 3 in your packet.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda items as presented in the board packet.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would like to acknowledge in terms of the bills and wire transfers, because our meeting is a week earlier than normal, and there's been some personnel changes in the business office. There was a time to facilitate going over all those items for this month. So the next one, we'll have formal approval for 2 months, if that's acceptable to you and the rest of the board.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion?
So are we pulling this
Do you want-
thing for B
Do you
out, or?
I think we can go ahead and approve it conditionally, and then we'll just acknowledge it next month.
Okay. Okay. Any further discussion? Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda is approved, and we'll do final approval of that budget, or that review next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do not have a student spotlight tonight because it's summer. We will move into action items. Action item number 1, consider a resolution to accept gifts, donations, and grants. Dr. Graff.
I have 6 donations to report this evening and recommend their approval. The first is a donation in the amount of $8,647.99 from the St. Peter Booster Club, and that was received by the Activities Department, and that's to reimburse things that were purchased on behalf of the Booster Club during the winter season. The second is donations in the amount of $250 from the Redmond Club and $500 from Pioneer Bank. Those were received by the St. Peter High School Choir during the Pops concert, and those donations will be put in the Choir Student Activity Fund. The third is a donation in the amount of $2,000 from Jeremy Hatlevig, and that was received by the Activities Department, and that donation will be used toward the purchase of the Team Builder weight tracking program. Fourth is a donation in the amount of $200 from Soda Scoops, that was received by South Elementary, and that donation will be put toward the South Parent Council Playground and Activity Fund. Fifth, donations in the amount of $5,000 and $30,285 were made to the school district by the Thalia Lopez and Larry Taylor Education Scholarship Trust. And those donations are going to go toward the annual Lopez Taylor Scholarship, used for the benefit of students who are first-generation members of the family to attend a post-secondary degree, and or students who are from a socioeconomic disadvantaged community. And lastly, a donation in the amount of $500 was received from the American Red Cross and is to be used to fund a scholarship for the higher education costs of a graduate. So once again, I would recommend approval.
I'll move to accept these donations.
We have a motion
A second.
and a second. Any discussion? Discussion.
Always nice to see and graciously received.
Absolutely. All those in favor? Oh, we need to go around the table. Sorry, it's a resolution.
Aye.
Ms. Rasbach, Mr. Rosso,
Aye.
Ms. Stewie?
Aye.
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 Resolution carries. Thank you to generous donors. Next, consider approval of the preliminary 2026-2027 budget. Dr. Graff.
All right, so Megan is gone this evening, so you've got the B squad, but I will do my best. So if you remember last month, we closed out fiscal year 26 with the revised budget. And this month, we come to you with the preliminary budget. And the preliminary budget is our educated prediction of where our budget will be in terms of expenditures and revenues for fiscal year 27. Thinking down the road, in December, we'll come back with the audit, and that audit will impact the first column on this preliminary budget, where we start, and then we'll start the cycle over in April, where we will revise this budget yet again for the final time. So in talking through the preliminary budget, for me, just the way my brain works, I think it makes the most sense to start at the bottom of the budget, which is actually the second page with the insurance fund, and work our way up rather than work down. So in making this budget, we have some knowns and we have some assumptions. And I just want to go through that list right now so it can kind of ground us with where these numbers are coming from. So the first known is that first column, the final balance amount in July 1st. That is based off our revised budget, which you all approved last month. The next is we have reset in this budget all of our assumptions to the point that every employee will work every day that they're contracted. In reality, we know that people take time off, we know that people are sick, we know that things come up. But that is our assumption when we make this budget. We've also adjusted for contract settlements that took place this school year, but will be effective year 2 of those settlements. We are projecting, based on the revenue projection model that MDE recommends, that we will be down 4 students next school year. We are projecting that we'll be down $50,000 for title funding. We are projecting a 3.85 increase to transportation, and we are projecting a decrease in compensatory funds of $150,000. And lastly, on the revenue side, it is known that the per pupil formula has increased by about $202 per student, or 2.69%. So those assumptions, those knowns, make up this budget. So if we start at the bottom with the insurance fund and work our way up, we'll go through each of these funds briefly, and I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. So when you start with the insurance fund, as you know, we are self-insured. So our collection of insurance, the monthly insurance, goes to this fund. You will see that that fund is projected to go up $599,000 this year. That is a 14% increase in what we're collecting, and that is by recommendation from our insurance folks. Everything is costing more, so this provides us with a pad for should something negative happen. So that going up is beneficial to protect our employees. The goal is to have the ending fund balance be around 1.5 million, and this is slightly higher at about 1.7. And that will once again insulate us should those costs go up in the following years. Next, we have the trust funds and scholarships. Then our debt redemption and our building construction fund. The debt redemption, as a reminder, this is the money that we collect through the levy to pay off those bonds that we approved. You will see that that is anticipated to go up about $121,000, and you might be thinking, well, what happens with that money? Essentially, we readjust the levy every couple years to zero that out. The building construction fund, that is from the sale of our bonds. That is projected to be spent down by about $6.3 million. That is on purpose. Those dollars exist to pay the construction companies to renovate the middle school. Community service fund. You will see, if you notice, the beginning balance of negative $701.4 thousand. and the ending balance of $601.4 thousand. That is an improvement of $100,000, and that improvement is based on the plan that this board set forth, which we will take funds from the general fund every year to zero out that account, plus an additional $100,000 to chew away at that deficit. The food service fund is projected to go down $91.9 thousand. The reason that continues to go down is because, remember, the state has, I think it's a 3-month expenditure limit. So we're spending that money because we can spend that money. So Megan feels strongly that we're in a good spot there, and that's not reason for concern, that's by design. Now, going back to the first page, continuing to work up, we are now into the general fund. And in the general fund, the assigned funds, remember, these are funds that the board has set aside for future expenditures, kind of known expenditures. The one that I want to point out is the North HVAC and district-wide roofing projects. Last fiscal year, we put $500,000 into this account for the anticipation for those HVAC or roofing projects. You'll notice above there the AAA, South 50K, the Frank Fredlin Fund. This is showing that we will only spend that down about $12,000. You will hear in Seth's report today that we do have plans to utilize the Frank Fredlin funds that were discussed when that donation, that generous donation was made. So that will be reflected once those expenditures occur. Moving up into the general fund restricted category, these are funds given us by the state or the federal government that have very specific uses. Our goal is to use these funds prior to dipping into the unassigned fund. Ones that I want to point out, when we look at the READ Act rows, the READ Act Literacy Aid and the READ Act Teacher Training, those were one-time funds, and you will see that we are spending those down. At the end of this school year, we are projected to have $35,000 left in that pot, and that money continues to be spent for READ Act training. So when you notice that we're going down by $32,000, once again, that's by design. The operating capital. This operating capital, if you notice the beginning fund balance of $275,000, remember this is based on the revised budget, which was approved last month. This does not account for our curriculum purchase of roughly $350,000. So when that accounting takes place through the audit, that will actually reduce from this section. So that will be reflected there, but after the audit, just because this is based on the revised budget. I want to point out the medical assistance line. This is an area of positivity for the district. This is an area where we have some funds that we can chip away at some of the deficits that you'll see in the general unassigned fund. Megan and I continue to work through how to use those dollars. Those dollars are generated through services for students on medical assistance. It's like third-party billing. You'll notice that that fund will increase, projected to increase by $76,000 this school year. So another funding source that we could have some flexibility in using. Then if we look at the LTFM, you all will approve or be presented with for approval an LTFM plan in July. Just like last year, when we approved that plan, that 10-year plan, if carried out the way it is on that document, takes us into the negative. If every project on that plan gets done this school year, we will be in the negative. So those are the decisions that we make behind the scenes on which projects are the most pertinent, and that's how we chip away at that list. But I wanted to point out why that number goes negative. That's if every project on the list gets done. The state allows us to do that. That helps the state to see kind of where those project needs are. And then when we get up to the basic skills compensatory dollars, you'll see about $1.6 million there. I just want to remind everybody that that's about $150,000 less than was awarded to us last year, just the way that those funds are reassigned. And then the last portion of this preliminary budget is a general unassigned. A reminder, we try to spend all of the other buckets first because those have the stipulations on it. The general unassigned balance or fund, those are the dollars that we can use for whatever we want to use. That's where the vast majority of our salaries come from. You'll notice a beginning balance of about 5.9 million and a projected ending balance of 4.8 million. We are projecting a deficit or an spending over revenue of about $1.1 million this year. Traditionally, the district uses a very conservative model. This model is very conservative, but it definitely points to, as we've been talking about for the last 3 years, we really need to start having some conversations about how we right this ship. And I don't believe this is anything new to this board, and you will see how that rolls out over the next 3 years and that 3-year rollout in just a bit. So any questions?
Charlie?
Yeah.
I have a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dr. Graff can answer them or not.
I'll
but,
do my best.
So the general fund assigned, for instance, the North HVAC and district roofing projects, we put 500,000 into that. It doesn't appear there's going to be any expenditures out of that. Don't we have to account for interest? And should that be added into that particular fund?
Great question, and I would not be able to answer the fine detail of that.
Okay, that's,
Yep, great question.
and then the second question is, and this is me just being me, I guess. This, I have a problem with this being called a preliminary budget. This is our budget. But a budget is a living, breathing document that can be changed. But it is our budget. And we are required to pass a budget by the 1st of July. So my only question is, are we in any difficulty by calling it a preliminary budget instead of just calling it the budget for fiscal year 27?
I don't know the answer to that.
I feel like most districts call it the preliminary budget.
I can weigh in. I
Okay.
believe we would call it a preliminary budget because it has not been ratified by the board on July 1st.
So
That
once we
becomes-
approve this,
Then
it
it
becomes
becomes-
the budget.
Correct.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
so semantics more than,
Yep.
Yeah, and that's, I just wanted to make sure.
that makes sense.
In
Thanks,
alternative,
Bill.
alternative word, and it has a different meaning slightly, and I think Drew is right, because it has not been approved as such, but it's an initial budget, and we do, of course, have the right to modify it, which means it's not, it is subject to change as circumstances dictate.
Or a proposed budget.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah, another synonym, exactly.
Got it. Thank you.
How many less students did you say we were projecting?
We're projecting 4 less.
4, so pretty stable there.
Yep.
How much less per student? Was it 200 something?
It's 202 more.
Okay.
Yeah, per student. So that, to repeat myself, that deficit of about 1.1 million is really around the $150,000 compensatory,
Yeah.
the 50,000 in title, negotiations, and the 14% increase in insurance, where we didn't budget insurance that high. We budgeted insurance at 8%.
Mm.
And then also perhaps the 2.69 versus
Yeah, I think our initial budgets were,
2.
we knew that when we went into this, so. And the business committee chewed on this morning in some detail, so I don't know if anything to add.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve our preliminary budget for the 2026-27 year.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
Are we gonna talk about the other pages or not? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do that now?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. I do think it's interesting to talk about the 3-year rollout.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk
If
about.
that's, so if we could skip to that, this page here. This is a tool that we've been using now for a couple years, just to kind of show the trend, where we think things are headed. So once again, some assumptions. We are using the per pupil unit of 2% increase every year, which is the minimum. And we are also using our greatest projection of number of students. So our projection for fiscal year 28 is that we will once again be down 4 students. When we get to fiscal year 29, we're actually projecting an increase of about 17 students, and fiscal year 30, an increase of about 1.2 students. So I hope you're saying, what happened to those numbers? So when these projections come about, it's called a grade progression ratio that Minnesota Department of Education helps us with. We take the last 9 years. So every year you're dropping off a year on that calculation, and you're adding a year. And the year that we dropped off in this calculation was fiscal year 2021. In 2021, as you remember, we lost a lot of kids. So that was pulling that projection way down. It was skewing our numbers, basically. So now those numbers have been updated because 2021 is now not in that calculation. But as we roll this out over the 3-year rollout, this is assuming that we continue to make budget adjustments of $100,000 per year. We're projected to end this school year, fiscal year 27, at 58.3 days, so still well within our goal. Fiscal year 28 at 42.6 days. That is once again above our goal. But then when we get to fiscal year 29, we dip to 25 days reserve, and fiscal year 30, 16.1. So as we've been talking about for the last couple years, that 3rd year out, there are so many unknowns that we don't necessarily want to make real decisions based on that, but this is giving us a very clear indicator that the trend or the graph is pointing down. So that gives us real clear information that we really need to start talking about some adjustments. And this will all be in flux once again in December when that audit comes back and we find out the real starting number. If you remember last year, we came ahead in that budget and it really helped our numbers. Any other questions about anything in your materials, budget related? Hopefully I did that justice.
Mr. Chair, again, this was discussed at the business committee meeting this morning, things add to it. But so I recall the goal or the estimate that we're going to be at for June 30th of this year, or the end of our fiscal year. The estimate was 65 days of funding to reserve, which is, again, as Dr. Graff mentioned, well above our goal. And it's at 58. So it's fairly close, given the vast dollar amounts and the numerous changes that nobody can control. So I applaud the administration and business office for I think I ran a nice job of extrapolating and estimating.
I think you explained it well.
In this 3-year rollout, what are you projecting as far as negotiation increases? Or
We have been using 3s and
Okay.
4s.
What percentage is considered 58 days? Do you know?
I don't. I can do
Okay.
that math.
No,
for you, but-
no. That would have been like
Mhm.
exemplary if you would have had that,
Yeah.
just boom, that's a lot.
Megan would have
Megan
it.
would have had her.
Megan
She's
would
like,
have had it, but you're not the business manager, and that's okay.
So we do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Discussion, discussion, discussion. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have approved the preliminary 2026-2027 budget. Proposed budget. Budget,
The budget.
the
It's
budget.
the budget now.
It's the budget now. Item 3, consider approval of membership in the Minnesota State High School League for 2026-2027. Dr. Graff?
Renewal of the Minnesota State High School League membership is an annual thing. Minnesota State High School League governs, I guess, the structure of all of our activities, and membership allows us to be a part of those activities, and it awards huge opportunities for our students. Membership costs us $100 and $85 per activity. I would recommend that we continue with our membership or renew our membership with Minnesota State High School League.
Make a motion and move the resolution, I guess, this is a resolution to continue to be a part of the Minnesota State High School League.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
Do we have some activities that we don't pay for because they're not part of the high school league? For instance, Target, clay target, shoot. Are we paying the high school league for that or not?
I don't believe so. I don't believe
Because it's not
If it's
sanctioned.
it's not
sanctioned.
sanctioned.
Right,
Mhm. Yep. That would be the only one that I can think of.
okay.
Mr. Chair, just
Yes.
a suggestion for consideration. We typically have activities director Shay
Mhm.
and periodically, and perhaps next month would be appropriate to summarize the year in general as well as the spring activities and
Sure.
bring everybody up to date.
Yeah, we could ask him to. Good idea. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Discussion, discussion, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying, oh, resolution. We'll go around the table. Ms. Rosbach.
Aye.
Mr. Rosso.
Aye.
Ms. Stewie.
Aye.
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 Mr. Dixon. Ms. Meyer. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution carries. Item 5, consider resolution to approve the yearly governmental lease. Oh, no, I'm sorry, missed one. Consider approval of membership in the Minnesota School Boards Association for 2026-2027. Sorry. Dr. Graff.
St. Peter is a member of Minnesota School Boards Association, as are the vast majority of school districts in the state. Our MSBA provides us with policy updates, advice to superintendents and board members, in-service training, board book, financial services, and lobbying efforts. It is a great deal for our district. The total cost for renewal is $11,328, and that is made up of $775 for their policy services. We use MSBA's model policies as the backbone of our policies. That's a benefit to us because their lawyers have looked through them, vetted them, gone through all of the legal aspects of those policies, so we know that they're quality. Our membership, just the flat membership fee, is $7,328. And then we do subscribe to their board book subscription, which is how you access all of the board book materials. And that's at a cost of $3,225. I would recommend renewal with MSBA.
I move that we approve our membership in MSBA for 26-27.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
I appreciate our partnership with MSBA quite a lot. They've been invaluable to us in many ways.
Very valuable.
And it's incredible that they're in our backyard.
Yeah. Discussion, discussion, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up, consider a resolution to approve the yearly governmental lease. Dr. Graff.
School districts qualify for access to governmental leases, which are tax exempt, and that comes back to us as fairly low interest rates. So every year, we enter into lease agreements with local banks, and that helps us cash flow our technology, our student and our teacher technology. This year, we put out RFPs to 3 local banks. 2 of them responded, and the best deal, and the one that both myself and Megan recommend, is for First National Bank. The total of that lease amount over the term is $307,200.25. And that's at an interest rate of 4.85% for the 4-year rate and 4.75% for the 5-year rate.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I do want to add, as we start to look at budgets, there's lots of discussion about technology in the district, and we're already moving toward this fiscal year, making some decisions that will help this lease go down. One of those decisions that's already been made is purchasing at the high school level just regular Chromebooks, not the touchscreen Chromebooks. We originally got those touchscreen Chromebooks as a bridge between the iPads and the Chromebooks, and in talking to teachers through a survey that Ms. Ingeldinger put out, virtually all teachers said that that switch would not impact their instruction at all. Additionally, conversation about not getting iPads at North Elementary. iPads are quite a bit more expensive than Chromebooks. Third and fourth grade, I'm sorry, third and fourth grade. So some cost savings that we're already starting to think about through this lease.
Going to something different for the 3rd and 4th grade, or just like getting?
Third and fourth grade would have Chromebooks.
Okay, that's what I
and-
thought, but I
yep,
just
sorry.
wanted to say that,
Yep,
in
yep.
case somebody watched that,
Yep.
and then we're like, what about the
Yep.
3rd and 4th
Yep.
graders?
Sorry, thank you for
And
clarifying.
then we'd be like, oh,
Yep.
Mr. Doherty just, no, I'm kidding.
So being able to transition to that Chromebook a little bit
That's what I
earlier.
assumed.
Yep.
I will, did we do that already? Yeah, we did.
We do have a motion
Okay.
and a second. Yeah, but we have motion and a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Any last discussion? Discussion. We'll proceed to vote. Resolution, we'll go around the table. Ms. Rosbach?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Dewey?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Carl?
Aye.
Mr. Dixon? Ms. Matz?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Thank you. Next up, consider approval of tenure action for probationary teachers. Dr. Graff.
I feel like this is the John Graff show here.
Mhm.
So traditionally, St. Peter Public Schools brings forth the names of teachers who have completed their probationary status. You'll see down at the bottom, this is really a recognition. It's not necessarily a requirement to have board action, but it's something that we do annually. So I would like to recognize formally those probationary teachers who have moved into continuing contract status. Chelsea Crary and Lisa Senier from Oshawa Learning Academy, Shannon Nimps from North Elementary, Emlyn King, Diana Jennings, Cole Peterson from St. Peter Middle School, Jean Liu, Jacob Pearson, Jasmine Whitty, and Michelle Javins at St. Peter High School. Principals are recommending that they move to continuing contract status.
Congrats to them.
I will happily move the approval of recognizing and considering the tenure action for probationary teachers.
I will happily second it.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Probably bring this up every year, don't you, Bill?
Yeah.
I do. These individuals will all have tenure on the 1st of July.
Oh, with the start of the, yep.
Because of the fact that they have to be non-renewed by
Yeah, sure.
June 30th, so if we want to recognize it, that's fine, but I think we should at least put
The right date.
the right date.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Is there a process that they go through to get that, other than just the time fulfillment?
Yeah, so there are probationary teachers in the state of Minnesota. Initially, you're probationary for 3 years. Within those 3 years, every year you have 3 formal evaluations. Those formal evaluations are graded on a rubric. We use Danielson Framework, which is a nationally recognized framework. There's a pre-observation conversation, lesson plans get turned in, principals are in the classroom, they fill out the form, they rate the teacher, and then the real magic is after that observation, there's a formal meeting where feedback is given. And it's really about support, it's really about learning. They do that 3 times for 3 years, and then you get to this status. The other way is if you are granted tenure or continuing contract status in a different district, you are considered probationary in your first year in your new district. So then after that 1 year of probation, then you move to continuing contract status.
And then when you come into the district in that 1 year, do you go through anything special? Or do you just make it through the year?
Same thing, the 3 formal observations. Yep, great question. And then once you're on that continuing contract status, you have your formal observation once every 3 years in that cycle. But there's continuous, what we call walkthroughs, whereas there's continuous feedback on that process towards your goals.
So we had a happy motion and a happy second. Any other discussion? Discussion. That it's July 1st. Thank you.
Well, we'll double check the statute. I don't think it's changed. but-
I think you're right.
All right, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congrats to those teachers. Last action item, consider approval of master agreement with office support. Dr. Graff, again.
The HR committee, negotiations committee, has come to a tentative agreement with the office support group. Some notable changes in that tentative agreement. Year 1 is a 2.5 increase on the salary schedule, and year 2 is a 3.25% increase. There's an increase in 5 cents for those career increments. There's an increase in the district insurance contribution from $16,500 in year 1, or to $16,500 in year 1 and $17,500 in year 2. There's an increase in the district contribution to insurance at retirement. That moves from $15,000 to $25,000. And then there is a change in how the district is allowed to or can give credit to previous experience. Previous contract or current contract really states that if you're new to the district, you start at the bottom, and there's a tentative agreement that we can give full credit for years served when it's like an identical or very, very similar job, and half credit for similar, which will be a benefit to the district because we can attract more people, and benefit to the group because we can obviously offer more.
I mean, obviously you guys have thought all that through, but how are you gonna determine what is the same?
There's some language
Okay.
that will help make that determination.
Okay.
That was a large point of discussion.
That was
Yeah.
a 3-hour discussion.
Yeah.
That would be like, I would just say, I would have been for full credit for all, but, you know, hey, I'm not on the committee, so good job, team.
I'll move the acceptance.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Informational items. Seth is here to talk about buildings and grounds.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And this morning at our business meeting, we went through a pretty extensive list on stuff that's going on I'm gonna keep it real brief for tonight, just kind of go through the highlights and stuff that we got going. One of the first ones that I'm gonna go over was the hail damage that we have to the roof at some of the buildings that we have. The first initial cost we had 2 companies come in and the adjuster, they were all pretty close in the ballpark at 1.9 for the damage at the middle school. With a little bit of further investigation through Schwicker's, when they came back through, they realized that over the years we got 2 different types of roof decking on there. One's a cement, one's a steel. So each one of them required different types of materials and different ways to put that on. Taking into account that, they're working with the adjuster right now. Their estimate has jumped up to 3.5 because of the techniques and the material that we need to replace those parts of the roof. So it's an ongoing thing right now. We're kind of at a standstill waiting for, everything is in the insurance. In their court right now, we're waiting for a decision from them. Once we hear if they agree with it, we move forward. And then we'll go from there, and I'll be able to update you guys next time we have a meeting where we're at with that.
Million? 3.5 million?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep,
That's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. Yeah.
And that was from the hailstorm.
What's that?
And that was from the hailstorm?
That was from the hailstorm.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that I said that out loud there, because I didn't know if I really heard that or not.
That's a lot of roof on that building.
That just the middle school?
That's just the middle school.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry for everybody, I'm a little slow over here. Okay.
That's okay.
Keep going, I'll take better notes.
That's actually about where I'm at with the roof update right now. We're just kind of waiting, and once we get back from the okay from the insurance company or get an answer, then we're going to get moving forward. One of the things we're looking at is moving forward as quickly as possible, because with the middle school renovation going on right now, they are doing some work on the roof. If we can run those 2 consecutive, we're looking at potential cost savings to do that. So we're kind of waiting. As soon as the insurance comes back, I want to get moving forward as quick as we can. Well, any questions with that part of it? Okay, that's scary, isn't it?
What kind of deficit do we have? Or is it not that, is it not that
It's
simple?
1% of the value, so
Oh.
about $650,000
Well, that's
Yeah.
a lot
is
too.
the deductible.
That's a lot too.
Sorry.
Talking big numbers, yeah?
So that's where these
Yeah.
Yeah.
some big decisions with LTFM are on their way.
Yep. Because of those big numbers, luckily it keeps my beard gray.
Okay.
On the next one, the high school chiller, we're in the process of working with Adams Mechanical, Peterson Sheet Metal. They're helping us to gather information, kind of come up with the estimate and move forward with the game plan on that. Right now, these are just very, very rough costs. We're looking at about $150,000 to $175,000 to repair that and get it up and going again. So that one I just had a meeting with Peterson this morning, and they're waiting for pricing to come back for material, labor, what to do with it, checking on some other outside like digging companies and stuff and what to do. Once we get those numbers together, that's another one I want to get done as sooner the better, then we don't have to worry about it. I want to make sure we're up and running and it's done right before the school season starts up next year. LTFM projects, a few of them that we're going to be going through. One, we're redoing the track, redoing a resurface on the track this year. It's definitely due. So we went through and kind of picked apart my LTFM, what we're going to have, because of these unexpecteds in there. And the track was one of them that we had decided that it's a priority. Another one is the high school drive, that front entrance area coming in off the roundabout. Trent Nielsen, I've been working with him. That was built improperly to begin with. And over the years, that's one of the reasons when you pull in, feels like you're gonna launch your car off of it. And the curbs are sliding off. That's another one that we put in the LTFM as a priority. That's gonna happen this summer. The gym floor at the high school definitely has to get refinished this year. Due to the water damage we have on one of the back corners, that has become an absolute priority. And then the last one that I have that we could talk about is the pool decking. We had a couple people go down in the tunnels, and it's kind of raining down in the tunnels. So just because of age and wear and chemicals, we're now having water leak through the deck and stuff into the tunnel. So that becomes a very big safety priority. So try keeping it real sweet. So that's kind of the bad side. So on the plus side is I got 2 quotes coming in. Friday we're going to make a decision, and we're going to be moving forward with the press box to get done, remodeled and everything before the football season. So that's a positive. Any questions?
Is there any, if that roundabout was constructed improperly, is there any liability to the construction firm?
So that's what, there's actually 2 things we're looking into. One, Nielsen's looking into that part of it, the roadside, and then the high school chiller too, we're starting to look into. That's only 9 years old, and we should not be going through that at all. And they're gonna start looking into Adams, Peterson are gonna do a little bit of research and go back to the firms that built that and see if they can be held liable for any of that stuff. So, yeah, great question.
And then, we have solar panels, right?
We do.
Any damage to those from that?
No. Neither school.
That's crazy.
No, at the middle school, the panels were fine, but the cow wall, that is that
The greenhouse.
greenhouse over the library,
Yeah.
heavily damaged. So we got that large section and then 5 more smaller sections over the pool and band area that have to be replaced because of that.
You should just put solar panels that over and all.
Yeah.
There we
That
go.
did come up in conversation.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
there's always costs, and they're more than you anticipate, and there are always surprises that you don't want to hear about. But the good news is the middle school project on time and on budget.
On time and on budget, absolutely. Yep, that was the last one, last segment right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, no, you're quite okay.
I wanted to make sure we ended up good
Deal
news.
is fun.
Yeah, yep. It was a little bit of a rough start, just like any project of this magnitude. You had all the construction companies just wanting to get in and jump and start running, kind of running over everybody. But as the days go by, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Everybody kind of finding their groove. Logan Murphy from ICS is doing a spectacular job at spearheading this and coordinating everything, and each day that goes by just gets smoother and smoother. So hopefully by next week everybody will be in their place, things will be moving along and kind of hit an even keel. But you're absolutely right, it's on budget and it's on time right now. So. Anything else? Okay.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth.
Will do.
Thank you.
You bet.
And Seth was even here at 5 o'clock to talk about all that stuff.
Yes.
Come in a half an hour late tomorrow. I'll let you
Yeah. All right.
Need anything?
That means you
Small
have
crowd for
an
the
extra
updates.
half an hour.
Small crowd, yeah.
Guess we know who really runs this district.
Well, good evening, everyone. Mr. Doherty and I are here representing the principals group tonight. I'm going to have just a short little bit of information on Read and Feed, and then Mr. Doherty is going to talk about the curriculum review that's been going on. So big updates there. So today, summer is here. Today was the first day of Read and Feed held at North Elementary. A reminder, this is a 5-day-a-week program that provides breakfast and lunch to children ages 1 to 18. Breakfast is served 7:30 to 9, lunch is served 11 to 12:30. Today, our first day, we had 60 kids for breakfast, which considering day 3 of summer break isn't bad. Get up a little early, ride your bike there. Saw a lot of kids riding their bikes. And then lunch, we had 203 today. The weather was a little questionable today with the humidity and some clouds, so some sprinkles. So felt really good about that. So it was a nice way to get our feet wet. Again, gosh, this is probably year 16 of the Read and Feed with a little bit of a hiatus in there. Really excited. Again, children ages 1 to 18 can eat free. Adults are welcome to come, sit with their kids. They can either buy lunch, buy breakfast, they can bring their own, or they can just sit and observe all the action that's going on there. We've got lots of donated books that kids are able to take, some activities, and today Community Ed had the Spark mobile art program there. So that was really fun. It was vegetable art. And so kids, once they were done eating or before they ate, they could go out and they had instructions on how to paint your favorite vegetable or think of those types of things. So it was very fun. The menus are on the website. They're also available at the site. So I would encourage people to look those menus up and encourage their kids to come safely to North Elementary for breakfast and lunch, Monday through Friday.
Really good.
That's it. Any questions about Read and Feed? Again, all of you are welcome to come. $5.65 for an adult lunch. I tried the principals group today, said it's the best lunch in town. $5.65, great value. Today was breakfast for lunch. You can't beat that.
No takers, principal crew?
I didn't see anyone, but
that'll change.
there's tomorrow. There's
That'll
tomorrow. Anyway, we're excited to be back. And then again, Jill, we have some ESY programs that are starting here in June for early childhood, but then in July, we hit the ground running at North also with our K-8 targeted services program. All of those students will also be able to eat breakfast and lunch at school, so it's really nice to be able to combine those two. And a side note with Read and Feed, we have 10 stops that City Transit is stopping at and did their first round today, and we had kids getting to Read and Feed via transit, so it's a really cool partnership. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep going.
No, that was really good. That's and then just to confirm, North Elementary is
The hub.
continuing to be the hub of
The hub.
childcare.
If they only had
nutrition,
air conditioning.
And if we had air conditioning, well, that's maybe on the agenda here. So, at some point. Well, greetings from the hypothetical Office of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment, I guess. I'm going to provide just an update on curriculum writing this week. Starting yesterday through tomorrow, 8 o'clock until noon, approximately 30 teachers assembled up at the high school in the humanities wing to onboard our new curricular tools that were just approved here this last board meeting. So we have K-12 reps for social studies, 5 through 12th grade reps for ELA. Kindergarten through 4th is waiting until July so that they get all their materials in at that time. And then math. Our math crew is kind of staggered. We have kindergarten through 2nd grade. We're doing phase 2, which is documentation report and taking accounting of basically the impact of mathematics instruction over the last 5 years. And then our high school math department are there as well, documenting and taking a look at some curricular tools that they may want to pilot going forward into this next school year to provide a better recommendation for the following school year, 27-28, which would be the new implementation of the new 22 math standards. So basically just broken down into 3 chunks. Yesterday, day 1, was all about building an awareness and capacity and efficiency with their new curricular tools. So basically, teams worked on a guidebook and some guiding questions yesterday about like what do these tools look like, what are the elements, how are they organized, what's the sequence. So just to build an awareness of all of the tools. There's a good number of these teacher leads that were part of the process. Obviously, most of them were part of the process through the first 5 phases of the curriculum review. There's just a little bit different structure this year in that we're trying to, instead of calling it an implementation manual, we're calling it a guidebook, and it just really breaks down like what are the tools in the toolbox in order to teach your curriculum area. How do the standards, how are they mapped in there, and does it do a good job of mapping the standards? Like what's the cadence of instruction with the schedule of the school year by lesson, by unit breakdown? And then, and that was today, and then tomorrow that team is going to take a look at assessments, like the published assessments that come with that curriculum. Where does that fit into the course of a quarter or a semester and a school year, so that we can get like some good checkpoints vertically, kindergarten through 12th, in order to actually have some kind of a conclusion on how students are progressing in learning and demonstrating the standards. So that's the work tomorrow. And so once those teachers like complete those guidebooks, I'll take that information and compile it this summer. They're going to do a survey at the end of their 4 hours tomorrow, just kind of giving me some feedback of how this shifted process went with curriculum, instruction, and assessment. And then what we need for the fall to get everybody else up to speed, like with our generalists, because we have 6 sections per kindergarten through 4th grade, and 5 of them each are not there, and there'll be a task with using these same materials. So it's really, and then professional development, obviously, that goes along with the curricular tools that we purchased. So that's what this week has looked like. 12 hours total, lots of expertise in the room with tons of great discussion. Some of the topics are they're needed topics, and they're tough topics, because it's like, I've taught this book or this unit for decades or whatever. Like, how does that fit into the sequence of this curriculum, or does it? Am I able to put a pin in this scope and sequence of this core curricular tier 1, tier 2 curriculum, and shift over to other unit activities that we're used to? So those are the conversations the teachers are having. So I really appreciate their expertise and wisdom through that process. So I'm looking forward to the fall, kind of what they craft up. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Superintendent Graff.
Just want to say thank you for an outstanding school year. It's been an incredible first year. So thank you to everybody.
Board members around the table.
Just wonderful graduation. I may be tiny bit biased, but fantastic graduating class, and really happy to be part of that. And Dr. Graff gave a fantastic speech. Appreciated that.
Mr. Ross.
Yeah. You're right, Dr. Graff's speech was excellent. Also, when Rossbach did a very nice job with her speech, as did the other students. So just a very, very nice event. Just gentle reminder, 2.5 months till school starts. Let's look forward to it.
Couple things, a shout out to the girls track team for getting second in state. Let us all say that with a very, very proud way. I know many people were slightly disappointed that they came in second due to 1 point, and so close to the perfect season, but those girls should be proud of themselves, even though it wasn't quite how they wanted it to end, and the coaches should be very proud as well. MVED news, I guess, would be the most exciting part for me, I guess, would be that Janesville is going to be coming into the fold, so that will help with the budget, because we have more ways to split that pie. And what else? Well, I guess we're working through who's going to be the finance person. We have financing, but that's all getting kind of sorted through. And yeah, exciting things happening out there. They've wrapped up since I've been out there, I feel like the most successful year on MVED since I've been going out there. So they got it going on.
I will add that we had a closed meeting prior to this public board meeting to discuss the Dr. Graff's annual evaluation, a summary of which will be provided at the July board meeting. So we'll talk about it then. But thank you to all board members for participating, and for Dr. Graff for providing giving us an excellent year upon which to base our evaluation. So
Made that job easier.
yeah. Mr. Cow.
I too would like to congratulate the track teams. A number of individuals won
Yes.
state titles, which is exciting. So that was good. And the golfers have a couple. I don't know how they did today, but they were in it. So that spring athletics did fine. And I would like to commend the efforts made by the administration at the graduation. I thought it went off very well. I know it can't be perfect. You can only hope, but it's improved every year, so it's good to see.
Yep, I also, our graduation ceremony was great. Well done. I believe our environmental control solution was sufficient, and so thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully we keep the humidity down. It's got to be working overtime right now, but thank you for those efforts. We appreciate it.
I think that every graduate who walked across the stage should be aware of how proud we all are of them. That was a big discussion while we were getting ready for graduation, so congratulations to all of them.
Thank you. Any board committee updates that weren't talked about? We did not have our policy committee meeting this past month, but because we have hit the end of the cycle for review, but we'll have a meeting in July.
Okay.
Yep. But we did talk about business committee. Any other updates? HR, yes?
I feel like all the education stuff just kind of comes to the board.
We meet tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
They have to come in the upper,
You can still get in the bottom door.
okay.
Yep. Just watch out for the crane.
Always. That's a good transition to upcoming meetings. Education committee.
There we go.
All our committees meet again before the next regular meeting of the school board, which is Wednesday, July 15th at 5 p.m. in this room. As far as we
As
know.
far as we know.
Someday we're going to go to the new board chambers at the new city hall, but let's plan on this room until we hear otherwise.
I'll see you when you do.
Thank you, Drew.
Good job,
Pull some
Drew.
strings.
So
All
this-
right. I
maybe
would
might
entertain
be-
a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
So when I was saying June will be